everyone out there in the rest of the world. My name is Rachel Jane Andelman, and you're watching The Joy of Posting. If it sounds like The Joy of Painting, it's because it's working off that name in a humorous manner. So you nailed it by making that association. Welcome. I hope you are having a great Wednesday night. It's 9 p.m. EST. Hello, Peruli. Thank you for staying. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've never known a Peruli. Hello, Lisa. Hi. It's so good to see you. And it's so good to see you guys in the chat and hanging out for another hour or so. It's Emlab. Oh my God, all my friends are here. Am I dead? Whenever all my friends are here, I always think I'm dead. That's part of it. I am looking down at my phone because shut up, my dad's phone. I'm looking down at my phone because every week I say I'm going to get a second screen, and every week I don't, because that's how I live my life, by knowing, being self-aware enough to know what I'm lacking or am deficient in, and then making no moves to improve my situation. Great. Oh my God. Hi, Boof. Hey, everyone. The gang's all here. Let's commit a heist. Tonight is the last show of our new 2MB Studio. Went from, I believe, like 3 shows on Wednesday to 5 shows, which I believe is like up to 6 hours of programming now every Wednesday, which is more programming than we've ever done on any one day before, and means we get to showcase like 6 communities of artists, or like sometimes it's a single artist, sometimes it's a whole group, like a whole production crew, and depending on the hour that you're watching. But we're really excited about having all that talent on screen and in your hand while you watch it on your phone or on your 70-inch if you watch Twitch on your 70-inch screen. If you are a kingpin or a a Maharaja, I assume that those are the 2 people who tend to have 70-inch screens. It's as awesome. It's been a very long day. I've been trying to watch every show, and I've also been having trouble sleeping. So if my brain seems like it's leaking out my ear a little bit, if you see a little bit of a glisten around my lobe, that's probably my brain leaking out from lack of sleep, and then just trying to watch everything that we ourselves are broadcasting. Oh, Pearly, thank you for watching it as it was meant to be seen. Seriously, though, Christopher Nolan should be in jail for refusing to delay Tenet. That was really just like anti-person, anti-health code there. It was funny today. I had a very funny day. My day for the past few days has been kind of strange. One thing obviously is things are getting worse outside. Things got better, and then also they're getting worse. Both things can be true. 2 things can be true at once, as every condescending person on Twitter likes to remind you. So we had that brief kind of moment of happiness during the weekend, and now we all get to live in the fact that COVID is really on the rise again, and we don't even know how it's happening because it's just everywhere. They can't even go back. They can't even trace the cases because everyone's sick, according to the internet that I've browsed. And at the same time, in a very on-the-nose reproduction of the chaos outside my house, there's a lot going wrong in my house. Just a brief list of things going wrong with my house. The back door is jamming. The microwave is dead. The dishwasher is dead. The tiles on our bathroom floor have begun to come off and revealing like a gray seeping soot underneath them that is kind of undefinable. We think it's grout, but I'm actually unsure. And also my dog needs surgery. We've known that for a while, and I also know that a dog is categorically different than parts of your house, but everything is just sort of on the fritz, both house-wise and animal-wise. The back door is jamming, yeah. Crank that Bob Marley, because this back door is jamming. Lisa says, oh, gray seeping soot, yum. Pearly says, number 1, congrats Thinkertron says, anyways, my province has spiked to the highest cases of COVID per capita in Canada. I'm sorry, Thinkertron. It's very bad. And I'm sorry that your prime minister, if you're Canadian, I'm sorry your prime minister is this weird man-child who's like liberal on the outside and then deeply unhelpful on the inside, like an Easter candy that sucks. I think he was hot briefly. Of course, we all thought he was hot briefly, but people reveal themselves. Blackface pictures reveal themselves, and we all realize that to never, ever, ever, admire an elected official ever. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the disappointment. Pearly says, a fun fact, I once wrote a fanfic involving Justin Trudeau for my Canadian friend from Tumblr. I think you're describing a fairly relatable, if not universal, experience, Pearly. Lisa says should be the subtitle of this autobiography. I agree. And then the autobiography should be thrown in the fire because his name should be forgotten. I also had a strange moment today where one of my tweets went kind of big. It was like 2,000 retweets, or 2,000 likes and 100 retweets, which is sort of on the low end of the viral side, but it was about COVID. It was like a joke about COVID, like a dark one. And so, and basically making fun of officials for not doing enough. And then everyone was quote tweeting it, like, and then adding like the elected official of their region, being like, "Hey, this you," which is one way that a tweet can go viral is if it's just very relatable. But also, like, I can't enjoy it because it means that everyone's elected officials are fucking up so much that this tweet about useless brain dead officials is apparently applicable to everyone in charge. So that is, pretty sad. So that is unfortunate. And it means that I can't exactly enjoy the tweet success. And I know there's this whole culture of like tweeting woke shit for clout. And for me, I'm really just trying to write stuff that feels true to me, that feels also funny. So I'm not really trying to chase clout, although I do like it when people like my jokes. I'm not trying to prove that I'm woke. I don't think that's really a useful metric for people. But I do want to get into some joke writing today. Let's do some jokes because that's the premise of this show. And apparently, oh wait, I haven't been talking for 20 minutes. I just started late. I'm like, I've been talking for 20 minutes. And then I realized that the time is not always telling the full story. Sometimes the time is a deceptive narrator, like the Hubert, the Lolita guy. The cloud's been chasing you. And I'm sorry that this is, I know I'm like constantly because I'm looking at your chats, your little chatties, your little chattersons. And that's until I get my second screen, which apparently I'll never do because I don't believe in improving my situation. Until that happens, I have to look down. So let's get started. Let's write some tweets, you guys. Let's write some jokes. Again, I'm very I've been having trouble sleeping. My bed is very hard. And I have not dealt with it in a sort of expedient way. So I've been having trouble sleeping. My bed is too hard, and I'm a little bit loopy. But I think this will lead to some good tweets. So if you've ever watched the show before, if you've stumbled onto this Twitch channel by happenstance, if you are here on a dare, if you were blindfolded and then unblindfolded and then woke up in a room you weren't familiar with, and this is on a screen in the middle of a room with nothing else in the room but a dangling light bulb that's swaying back and forth, like in an interrogation room style. This is my show. This is a show where I write tweets in front of an audience and I explain why I think things are funny and why I don't think things are funny, and just basically my philosophy behind joke writing. And if you don't like it, then that's fair. But I have been writing. I've been on Twitter for like 12 years. I've been, depending on how you define viral, I've gone viral either a fair amount or a lot. I feel very comfortable writing jokes for the very particular context of a Twitter feed. So if that's stuff that appeals to you, if this is an interesting topic, writing jokes for this particular venue, feel free to keep watching. And again, I'll be going to the chat a lot because I hate writing. I do enjoy writing, and I also hate it. So I will be also deriving inspiration. It's not just a form of procrastination to go to the chat, although I often use it that way. I'll be going to you guys as well. Look, Lisa says she's here on a dare. I believe it. Probably from Daniel Day-Lewis, which we all know is her bestie. Lisa and Daniel Day-Lewis are wicked tight, as we have confirmed in our group chat. So this week has been weird. I'm trying to think of what topics or themes would resonate with the masses today. Also, like what has personally been inspiring to me today. There's a lot going on. I've been having some anxiety. I looked at some pictures of a big statue today that cheered me up. Oh, hello, Boof. Boof has apparently, Boof is our friend Ryan. He's apparently followed us on Twitter. Boof, if you are listening to me now, I would recommend changing your password if you haven't already, because I have been to your account lately to tag you and notice that the first 20 tweets were all ads for sunglasses. So feel free to wipe that slate clean and take back your Twitter identity. Sometimes I'll be like tagging people. Boof says those were his. He loves sunglasses. Touche, Boof, touche. Sometimes I tag people and I'm like, why aren't they ever retweeting me? And then, or retweeting this, why don't they want to promote their show? And then I go to their Twitter page and they're like, oh, they haven't tweeted since 2018. They probably lost their password. They've never looked at this account for literally 24 months. So for some tweets we're going to write today, we're going to keep it fun, simple, clean, fresh, all those kind of cool words. Also like funny and deep and meaningful and significant. All the good words under the sun, really. It says Boof owns 3 sunglass huts. And an unexpected error says gotta love someone who's passionate about discount Ray-Bans. Ray-Ban is a funny word. Because I guess they ban the rays, right? They're like sunglasses. They ban the rays from your eyes. I've never thought about it, but once you have the words in front of you, that meaning really does instantly pop out. Hello, Chester Rockwell. Who's this chick, guys? This chick is a mess. This chick is the beautiful kind of ordinary you just can't. What's that Faye Valentine line? The beautiful kind of ordinary. Of ordinary. Sorry, I need to know. I forget this line. Ordinary, the kind of beautiful, dangerous ordinary that you just can't leave alone. Oh, thank you, Thinkertron. I love this quote. I think of it all the time. Obviously not verbatim, but if you want to know who I am, just look up Faye Valentine quotes and just start reading, because that's who I am. And also Ray-Ban is also, I think, a video game character. Is Ray-Ban a video game character? Rayman. They have a bunny. They've stylized the font. I don't even know what that says. Oh, Rayman. And then there's Rain Man, who's the autistic character as portrayed by Dustin Hoffman. So there's Ray-Bans, Ray-Bans. I'm just kind of riffing. I don't necessarily know if there's any material here. There's Ray-Bans, which are glasses. Ray-Bans, which are they're like hostile, chaotic rabbits. Oh no, the rabbits are not the Rayman. The Rayman is the weird limbless figure. I'll be honest, I've never played this game. I mean, obviously. And he has like a suction cup. Rayman, and then there's Rain Man, who's obviously good at gambling. It's a rabbits. Yeah, I don't actually have a joke for this, although in 2 months I will be, drinking coffee on my porch, and I'm like, I have the perfect joke for these three words to put together. So I think that what people are really feeling, and what is maybe the present current that I can dip into a little bit, is that's actually a good joke. Unexpected error. You should tweet that. I like that one. I think people are feeling like Joe Biden is like Joe Biden is gonna like disappoint us so fucking hard. And I feel like one thing I'm not going to do, I really try not to do it, and I think it's not a good path, is like comparing elected officials to like romantic relationships, which you see a lot on Twitter. It feels very hack to me. It also feels like not necessarily a good way of thinking about politics, not to get preachy. But Bernie isn't your boyfriend who yells at you, and these guys are not, your boyfriend who doesn't own, sheets. Yeah, it's funny. I'm like looking at the chat, and also I'm getting like messages from a group chat about a game people are playing. So it's all very chaotic. I'm feeling chaotic. This is going to be probably the more chaotic of the episodes that you'll see. Joe Biden is bleh. I think there's like a lot of infighting. Also, I'll say that I'm not necessarily great at politics joke writing, but I do feel compelled for the twin reasons that it interests me enough, and it also feels like on people's minds enough that it feels like that one, if one has the joke, that one, should, go to the trouble of writing it, because it will be as enjoyed as anything non-topical you could think of. Kamala's your mommy. Kamala is like a mom who also denied parole to people who were, ready for parole. I'm just going to write some words. I'm having trouble, obviously, concentrating and thinking. This is going to be probably one of the lighter nights in terms of output. Usually I'm very good at output. I usually come up with like 10 fine tweets rather, and then 4 of them which are pretty good. So I'm just going to try to just write a little bit, see if I can get my engine turned on. You can tell that I'm really not necessarily connecting to the page here. It does unfortunately happen. So I'm just going to try to write just some very basic observations and see if I can start to spin something clever or interesting or valuable, like worth reading in front of you right now. So Joe Biden is bleh. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the first woman and the first Black American and the first Asian American and the 47th American who sucks. Kamala Harris is a trailblazer as the first woman and the first Black American and the first Asian American and the 47th American who horrifyingly sucks to hold office. We're really living to see history get made. Kid Tempest writes, wow. What's great about the written word is you really can say it in your head unless expressly uh, specified by punctuation. You can really say it any way you'd like. So Kid Tempest may have meant wow as well. But in my head, I hear it as wow! And really, it's the same. It's really the same because, again, there's no specification made. So that's fun. So we're just going to throw this out here. Kamala Harris is a trailblazer as the first woman and the first Black American to hold a vice presidential office. Well, specifically the first 47th American to, or I guess 46th, to hold the office of vice president. Thinkertron says 48. I can't tell if Thinkertron's like, no, actually there's been 48 vice presidents, or actually no, this is a this is where we get you get it, you guys. You get the point. This is the part where you can't rely on jokes to be accurate. I don't know how many vice presidents there have been. I assume 46-ish. Kamala Harris is a trailblazer as the first woman and the first Black American, the first Asian American, and the 47th American who sucks to a horrifying degree. You know, you're only you're not fully aware of, to hold vice presidential office, really living to see history get made. Well, she's 49th. Guys, this is why fact checking and joke writing is, a loser's game, because all you all are like, you could, yeah, this is like where, like, if I had an intern or if I had like an assistant, I'd be like, go find the real number. I need to keep writing. I need to keep the stove lit. It's like it's like fact checking while joke writing. It's like steering a ship while also trying to measure each wave. You just can't do both at once. It's impossible. So that one was a little salty, obviously, but I believe it captures our complex feelings about the years to come. Facts built that stove. Cool. Let's do another one. I'm gonna be like, I'm pretty sure like no one likes that one. But I often write jokes like throughout this show that some people, I take about as much time on each joke. I feel like I take an equal amount of time on each joke, and what will happen is that like half the jokes people will respond to or connect with, and half the jokes just like sink to the bottom of the ocean. And it's very unclear to me when I'm writing which ones will do which. I just know about half of them will hit. About half of them will hit people in the back of their head where like, oh, that's clever. Lisa is in a rabbit hole real hard right now. Cool, let's keep going. Gonna check on that. Nobody likes that one. Yeah, let's try. That was very political. Obviously, let's try a non-political one. Is there anything non-political happening? Things that I've heard about today. I know that Rupert Grint has a new baby. I think a 50% hit rate is good too. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Chester Rockwell, for knowing my screen handle. Rupert Grint has a baby. That makes me think of TERFs and English people. I feel like English people are obsessed with poppies. Everyone died during the war. What's the poppy? I feel like it's like this weird, like they have this mini like tulip madness every goddamn year. Yeah, I don't know if the obsession with puppies has like gone up. I don't know what's going on over there. Like British people seem like I know like America sucks, but British people seem crazy in a very particular way. Like Brexit is nuts. Like turfdom is nuts. Like the Grenfell Tower is obviously horrible. Yeah, I actually don't like that one. um, one of my favorite Twitter and somewhat of a polarizing figure, Felix Biederman from Chapo, has done this like thing where he's like pretending to be British, and it's like so funny. No, 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 no. Chess Rockwell, you're doing great. Those who have seen the show before know that I'm very active in terms of engaging the chat. I enjoy it. I find that it's like helpful in the process in terms of like making me not panic while staring at a blank screen, even if I do end up writing fewer jokes than maybe I had intended. That's fine. Let's do something else. uh, hmm. I'm gonna write a. I really want to write like a good joke tonight. I just want to like write one. I'm really having trouble. It really is the craziest part of the joy of painting. And maybe he did like have to like just throw some canvases out. Like there were episodes we didn't see because like he just fucked up. But it really does seem like he has it down, which I'd love to do. Yeah, let's see what's on the news. What's happening that's not horrible. Just news logos. I love that I like look up the news. I'm like, news. I'm just like, peacock that's still a peacock. I can't stand this Trump stuff. It's like tedious and horrifying, and I hate everything about it. Brave Caribbean Rescue. That's kind of fun. Pfizer CEO sold 5.6 million in stock. Sold stock. What is that? That seems very. That seems, as the children say, sus. Oh, I didn't know that. An engaged American, an engaged citizen, engaged and reading. Sus as hell, dog. Me, an engaged citizen and not an idiot, reading that Pfizer CEO sold 5.6 million in stock the day he announced promising vaccine news. That's sus as hell, dog. That's sus like. Like even the fact that he's painted it before, like I couldn't paint the same painting twice. Like that seems harder. But again, not a painter. Me, an engaged citizen and not an idiot, reading that Pfizer CEO stole 5.6 million in stock the day he was promising vaccine soon. That's sus as hell, dog. That's messed up. I don't know anymore slang. That's messed. That's sus as hell, dog. This is like the Norman Bates point. that makes me that makes me look askance. Gonna be looking at you askance in the future. That's sus as hell, my dude. I really need to like bone up on some slang. Like, what are the kids saying these days? I don't know. I'm 33 years old. I'm a woman. I'm an older woman. I'm a middle bro. Do people still say bro? I feel so alienated. Me and engaged and not an idiot reading that Pfizer CEO sold 5-6 million in stock the day and as for the news. That's sus as hell, my dude. Gonna be looking at you askance in the future, dog. Damn. No. That's sus as hell, dog. Gonna be looking at you askance in the future, my dude. Fucked up. Gonna see you behind my back. Because that's where I'll be looking. Gonna be nation, my dude. Gonna watch see you behind my back, because that's where I'll be looking. And that's fine. That's the end of the joke because I ran out of space. What else? Crazy shit in the news. Everything is very too overwhelming. It's like I feel like we're sensorially just overwhelmed and everyone's just going mad in very specific and different ways. For example, there was a recent report, I'm just gonna write it down. There was a recent report that said internet access makes people trust their government officials less and embrace populism, populist parties more. See how my cool. So there was a recent report that said internet access makes people trust their government officials less and more likely to embrace fringe, embrace populist figures. I'm trying to make sure I know exactly what the word populism means. I don't want to fuck this, guys. I don't want to fuck this joke up. A person who advocates populism, a movement against ruling elites who are presumed not to act in the interest of the ordinary citizen. That makes sense. That's kind of, I figured it was that. There was a recent report that said internet access makes people trust their government officials less and more likely to embrace populist figures. I know the second I got an email, an AOL account, this strikes me as true. The second I got an AOL account, I started making political donations. To Josh, the mysterious biker with the rat tail. I don't know why people are talking about poggers. I don't think I mentioned poggers. Guys, poggers are sweeping the chat. Everyone's talking about poggers. His face, some streamer makes once. So I don't know if a surprised face is a pogger. How is that different than like soy face? Because I know soy face is a thing. Anyway, there's a lot going on. Too long, no. There was a recent report that said internet access makes people trust their government officials less and more likely to embrace populist figures. This strikes us as true. The second, this strikes me as true. Once I got this, the moment, I think that made it worse, I got an AOL account, I started making political donations to Josh, the mysterious biker with a rat tail. There was a report that said, report saying, internet access makes people trust your governments and officials. Let's do it. This should be a weirder name. Josh is like a boy next door name. Vote for Josh, Biker Rat Tail America. Yeah, Josh is like a filler name. This is where I go back and I'm like, Josh is not weird enough. What's a name like should be like Spikes or like something that's not as Buffy adjacent, like Dagger. Like Dagger. Whenever people try to think of funny names, especially guy names, I always think of the name Lance, which is a common boy's name, which just means like a sword that knights have, which strikes me as an insane name, but it's very common. I love the name Lance. It's so weird. You guys, if there's a Lance in the audience, thank you for being you and for not changing your perfect, weird ass name. When the English, like people make fun of names that sound foreign or like that have like a lot of vowels or whatever, I'm like, you can't make fun of names when the English language has names like Lance. That's fucking dumb. Also, how do you get Dick from Richard? That's fucking dumb. I'm so mad. Other things I read. Things are going crazy. You know what grinds my gears? Celebrities. That celebrity, Keke Palmer, who like had to delete her tweet because she's like, what if, I think she was saying that healthy food should be free. I think that was what she was trying to say. But she was like, what if like EBT people on EBT just got, healthy food? And then everyone was just like, you suck, Keke Palmer. Shut the fuck up. Sorry to your post. If you know who Keke Palmer is, that's a very funny thing to say to her. But rich people are always, and EBT is the same as like food stamps. I'm just making sure that I'm like using the right terminology. Food assistance program, the electronic benefit transfer. It's the system that allows state welfare departments to issue benefits via magnetically coded payment card. Yeah, it's like everyone, the thing with Keke Palmer is like everyone's like rooting for her. Like she's funny, she's like good at singing, she's a good actor. Like we're all like in her camp, and like all celebrities have to do is not say something dumb, and they're incapable. Rich people are always saying things like, it's fun to make my nurse. Also, like the thing, if you saw Chrissy Teigen, like had this insane poster. She's like, we're having fun at my house. I'm making my nurse wear a plague doctor costume while she's, working for me. And everyone was like, what the fuck? And she thought it was like funny and relatable. And it's like, no, you have cognitive damage from being wealthy. Rich people are always saying things like, it's fun to make my nurse wear plague doctor outfits. And the thing about Chrissy Teigen is like, I don't think her Twitter always used to be bad. I think the longer she's been rich and famous, like the worse it's gotten, because it's like the siren thing. It's like you pass the sirens, you will crash your boat. It comes for everybody. Human beings are not meant to have that much power over other human beings. It just fucks you up. Buy healthy food. And if I were posting this on my personal Twitter, I would probably end it with like a fun thing that was like self-referential. Like rich people are always saying things like, "It's fun to make my nurse wear a plague doctor outfit," and "Poor people should only buy healthy food." And "Rachel, stop kicking me in the nuts." That would be, if I were writing on my personal Twitter, that would be the punchline. I'm writing on the official 2MB Twitter, which I just have to kind of figure that out. Exactly. Smart rich people know how to stay in the shadows. Just like, don't say shit like you are so fucking lucky. Or like be a class reader, but don't like fucking be like this. Like you don't even. This is not even your preferred outcome for everyone to be mad at you. If you don't want everyone to be mad, just don't do stuff. Don't do stupid stuff. Rich people are always saying things like, "It's fun to make my nurse wear a plague doctor outfit," and "Poor people should only buy healthy food." And why is this? Why am I melting while reading this tweet? Oh no, it's has a curse. Which curse on it? Oh no, it's been cursed by a witch. This was a trap. When I make my first million, I will instruct you not to kick me in the nuts. Yeah. If you make your million, just don't say anything dumb, and we'll be fine. We'll have an understanding. It's fun to make. This is. I did not copy all of it. Here we go. You may notice that, by and large, my tweets tend to run long. I think that especially for the context of doing this show, I don't have like the quick snappy. So like I think that Twitter jokes basically break down roughly into two categories, like the short and long. And the short ones are like, you just like have this joke, it's fully formed in your head. You're bicycling or having sex with Brandon, or watching a spider move across your kitchen, and you're like, oh, I have a really fun joke. It's really short, and they come to you all at once. And the long jokes are ones you kind of have to build by brick by brick, bit by bit, detail by detail. And because of the way this show works, I'm not going to have like a really funny, like really brief bon mot kind of pop in my head because I'm so busy, entertaining you people. No, doing all this stuff, talking to you guys, and writing and knowing I'm being watched while writing. So they do tend to run long in the context of this show, and that's why. If you are feeling like uninspired, what's important is just do brick by brick. Get those details out. People like detail. People like substance. Even in the context of a tweet, they enjoy like a little substance, a little bit of thoughtfulness, a few more curves than you may foresee needing. People enjoy multiple curves in a tweet because they want to be on a certain level impressed. If you're reading Twitter, you're scrolling through dozens, if not hundreds, of tweets. Tweet should like pop. It should do something you're not expecting it to, and so that's why you probably if you're in a place where you're not being inspired in the moment, you do just need to like build that highway ramp with lots of like exits and lots of interesting like curvatures. So people are like, whoa, this tweet's doing more work and making me, doing more work to impress me and make me happy and make me laugh than the tweets around it. And that's how you get likes. You love your curvy tweet. I love my curvy wife. All husbands on the internet are bizarre, damned by God. Rich people are always saying things like, it's fun to make my nurse wear a plague doctor outfit, and poor people should only buy healthy food. And why am I melting while reading this tweet? Oh no, it's been cursed by a witch. This was a trap. That one feels pretty solid. Cool. Let's do another one. Again, if you are enjoying this show, you should know that I am not just a poster, not just a queen of tweeting. I am a god. Also the one of the channel producers of 2MB Studios. Besides my show, there's about 26 other shows, and some more in production, like more in process of getting onto the air, and 26 like that are currently on the air throughout the week. So feel free to stop by on a day where I am not on screen, because I am in some way involved in most of it. If that is important to you. I don't know why I pasted that twice. Yeah, so let's see. Obviously, my whole life has been sort of finagling a way to make writing fun jokes relevant to the rest of my life, and not just like this weird thing that I do all the time that brings me no benefit besides my own delight and the visceral delight of others. Let's do some more jokes. Let's see. What's a fun joke? Thinking about it. Checking my email during my Twitch stream so people can see my mail sent to me personally, because I forget that I'm sharing my screen. It's totally normal. Other things that are happening. Jeffrey Toobin got fired. I don't know if there's a joke here that people haven't already made. Jeffrey Toobin, obviously a sex pest, masturbated during a meeting, and then was let go. And now people are going to be mad about it because the internet's because society is strange. Please don't hack my email. It's full of bras. Just Google image searches of bras. Not my bras, just bras that I found on the internet that I wanted to keep in my drafts folder, not even to purchase later, but simply for good luck. Let's see. Again, if you're sticking with us, thank you for sticking with this stream. It's a pleasure of having you here with me. This is the closest I get probably throughout the week to having people over. That's strange to say out loud, but it's fun. It's fun to have you guys here. Whatever here means now. It's fun to be able to chat with you guys in the chat. Boof says, Rachel might be emailing everyone about sunglasses tomorrow. They're just a good idea. It's really been bright out. Discount sunglasses. Because the future is going to be bright, but in a way that drains you of the energy to protect yourself correctly. It's like a fun snap one. It probably is. Probably as snappy as this particular stream gets. Discount sunglasses, because the future is going to be bright in a way that will drain you. I go crazy with tenses. I will be reading a joke and I'm like, there's like 5 different tenses used throughout this joke. I just like did not hold on to that hand of one. And then you just have to go back and you have to choose one. Okay, it's like future, present. Just fucking choose one, and then just conform everything else. Discount sunglasses because the future is going to be bright, but in a way that will drain you of the energy to protect yourself correctly. Step 1, hack Rachel's email, reading from the chat. Step 2, corner the bra market. Step 3, profit. The bra market, man. The bra, it's always funny. I bought some dresses on Torrid, and now I just get the loveliest, big, beautiful women in my ads. They're like, do you want to see a beautiful woman from Fenty? And she's in her bra, and I'm like, she's so pretty and confident. And I will never be like that. I will just always be this mess. Cool. Let's see what else. What else has been happening, you guys? Go back to the news. It's like I like don't watch the news because I'm so fucking sick of these people. And then I don't actually know what's going on. It's really hard to make that balance. Like, I'm so tired of women with mermaid blonde hair saying that there's we need to check on the validity of these votes. We should probably do like one like joke about the ballots and whether they're valid, because that's fucking everything. The white blonde women. Well, it's like funny. It's like funny. I'm like, you're always just like making jokes about white women. Like, am I being sexist? Like, I try to make as many jokes about white guys as white women, or else I just feel like I'm like the female heroine of like a sexist anime from the 90s where I'm only allowed to fight the other women. I think that was one of not the Street Fighter. It was like one of those like fighting game movies where I'm just like, hey, that's a trope. That's in it. I've seen that 2 or 3 times. As like a 10-year-old, you're like, I think I'm beginning to see a pattern that women aren't allowed to get into fights with the men in these animes. And so basically, I try to fight everybody. I don't do Karen jokes. I think I've done one Karen joke, but only making fun of the people who get mad at it. Not like, yeah, I wouldn't call someone a Karen unless I was making fun of a more specific subcategory of person. It's important. Hand counting the ballots. It's important that every ballot counts. I'm just gonna like leave that there because I don't have anything else for that right now. Let's see what else. One thing that I think that everyone is like very much, at least in the circles, in the like the little eddies and communities of the internet that I run in, I think everyone's like really dreading the moment where all of the Trump people get like rehabilitated and we have to like watch them. We have to like watch like fucking Pompeo on MSNBC or like as he has his own show. Like, everyone's cool with that. Like, my mom watches Nicole Wallace like every day, even though she was like Sarah Palin's like advisor. Like, it's all insanity. It's like it's hard to even make fun of because you're just like you feel like you're falling while thinking about it. Blonde hair, blue eyes. It's very strange. Couldn't be me. A lot of people are like, defund the police is bad, and then you're like, no, you're bad. Mortgage rates are spiking after news of promising COVID vaccine. I don't know what that means. It's like, oh, we're gonna have houses. Ugh. Vaccine news catapults investors' economic recovery bets. Vaccine news triggers vicious rotational action. I don't know what that means at all. Sandra Smith goes viral for expressing shock, blah, blah, blah. Ugh. Things like, I didn't like Google like vaccine news or like blonde hair women news. I just Googled news, and these are like everything that's coming up. Fox News created a monster. I swear I thought these were like Diet Dr. Pepper boxes for a second. Alex Trebek died. You're like, Rachel, are you going to think of like a funny joke for that? Alex Trebek died. Everyone thinks LeVar Burton should be the new host of Jeopardy. I think the host. I've already read at least one really good tweet on the subject. They're like, I think the next Jeopardy host should be like a real dumb guy who's surprised by every answer, which I'm like, that's very funny. Like, if I do a joke, like, I think the host should be this, like, I would hope that it would be in the realm of humor that tweet is, because I think that tweet is like a very sharp, funny one. Welcome to Blonde News. All the news about and pertinent to blonde women. Yeah, the blondness is like, it's like very hard to like steer away from feeling like a Stepford. I know it's like been constantly referenced and it's a cliche and trite to even point out how blonde they are, but it still gives you like wicked hard like Stepford Wives vibes or like Aryan Nation vibes, and it's just like two women for show, two blonde women for show. That's how many you get. Everyone thinks LeVar Burton should be the new host of Jeopardy. I think the host should be. I'm like, now I'm thinking like, is there's a way to tie this to the fact that Kanye West did a hologram of Kim's dad for her birthday, which I feel is like one of those like batshit things. Like, I'm not a big Kanye follower or somebody who comments on Kanye a lot. I mostly feel like he should be off the internet and he should get like the help he needs. But it's insane that I feel like that was a 2-minute, like that was such a bizarre, that was so bizarre. And I feel like it passed out of the news cycle before we all had a chance to process how weird that was. I think your Tron says, okay, but as a trans woman, when I get my hair dyed blonde, it's going to be very hot and woke of me. Absolutely. Yes. Mostly, I think it's mostly just like if every woman is blonde, I think it's just a problem. It's blondness here and there. It's like can be woke, can be good. Tony Hawk would be a good replacement. I think everyone loves Tony Hawk because he writes those funny tweets that is like, "Who are you, Tony Hawk?" It's like, I don't know who he is. He has like these very funny, relatable tweets. He is a good celebrity, like the opposite of Chris Teigen. Like he feels like real. But again, it's all shadows. Alex Trebek died. Everyone thinks LeVar Burton should be the new host of Jeopardy. I think the new host, should be Data. I don't have a good ending for that joke. Data. My favorite fact. One thing I learned specifically from an HBO series, Rome, was that the singular form of data is datum, and I think the single form of trivia is trivium. When like the young Julius Caesar says this, or the young Augustus, like that's just trivium. Oh, I always think about that scene now. It was a good show. Let's do some more jokes. Alex Trebek died, and Kanye West conceded, and what else? COVID's getting worse. The second wave is now in full in full spirits. It's now fully released. You know, it's the second wave because City Slickers 2, Legend of Curly's Gold. Because there was a super spreader event while a bunch of people were looking for the Legend of Curly's Gold. Oh, Alice, this is a funny fact. If you have been keeping track of the Tony Hawk news, which I didn't mean to, it just sort of happened, you'll actually find out that he went back to an old problematic trick and actually renamed it to be less problematic. It was called like the mute. I think it was called the mute spin or something, because the person who invented it was mute, and then he changed it to the name of the guy. So I thought that was really cool. It's like a really cool thing. Mute grab to Weselman grab. Thinkertron is on that fucking ball. COVID's getting worse. The second wave is now fully upon us. Honestly, this still feels like first wave to me because I don't think anybody there was like no lockdown, so I think this is still probably first wave. But who knows? Is now fully upon us. It's the second wave because there was a super spreader event while everyone was looking for, and like I would prefer to say everyone was looking for Curly's gold, but I don't know if that will play while everyone was. How do you find Curly's gold? Was it like panning? They're like in the wilderness. They're like, yeah, they're out in the west. Everyone. Yeah, because if you like want to justify the word legend in there, you have to like slightly rephrase it so it's a little less weird and muddled. COVID's getting worse. The second wave is now fully upon us. It's the second wave because there was a super spreader event while everyone is out in the desert. Enticed by is everyone out? As everyone was out in the desert, enticed by the legend of Curly's gold. I don't know if that's better. We'll just post it. Oh, Lisa says this show gives me anxiety. No, Lisa, why does this show give you anxiety? Lisa, this show is supposed to be. The show is based upon the famous, iconic work of Bob Ross with The Joy of Painting, which we all know is a fun, chill time that everyone loves and no one hates. The news. Right. I am referencing the news. I am sorry. Let's do some fun ones to end the show with. Like ones that aren't about the news, that aren't just like fun. What do people like to think about dogs? Sometimes, here's a fun fact. Sometimes the noses of dog statues, are rubbed smooth because so many people pet them. Unexpected error writes, me too. Like, I go over all these tweets about a million billion times where I tweet one, and Rachel's like, I workshopped this for 2 minutes, post away. A big pair of jean pants, yes. Jean pants are very funny. We'll get to those. We'll get to those tonight, guys. We're going to do it. Sometimes the noses of dog statues are rubbed smooth because so many people pet them. Unlike the dog statue at my house, which is smooth because it does so much cocaine. It's fine for statues. I googled. Burning Man. I think the Burning Man, someone replied, I don't understand Burning Man. I think it's a reply to the Legend of Curly's Gold. I feel like there's, if I've seen City Slickers, it must have been when I was like a little child. I don't think it's like been folded into kind of the canonical, early 90s films. Like people are aware it exists, but I don't think like people who are growing up like still watch it. But it is like a funny, just the Legend of Curly Gold is like a funny phrase. And like I feel like even if you don't know the movie, City Slickers 2, Legend of Curly's Gold does like, is evocative enough that it can still be used for the purposes of comedy in terms of like references. Even if you're just like, I've never seen that movie. There is not anyone alive who's seen that movie. And no one under, 45 has seen that movie. it's fine. Sometimes the noses of dog statues are rubbed smooth because so many people pet them, unlike the dog statue in my house, which is smooth because it does so much cocaine. It's fine when statues do it. I Googled. Somebody else wrote an interesting note about, like, I workshop this for 2 minutes, post away. Here's the thing. I feel like sometimes, I would say that 8 times out of 10, workshopping a tweet only makes it worse. This is not a novel we're writing, and I've said this before. You're writing something smart and short, and short enough that you'll get to better tweets if you just post it and keep going with more tweets than trying to workshop the same tweet forever. This is my personal philosophy, and I think it is what gets people hung up on Twitter as medium, because you can always go back and delete any tweet you didn't like or that didn't do well. But the process of writing tweets is really the thing. You just want to keep writing them so that your brain continues to think in like tweet-sized portions. Yeah, Lisa's happier, and that's all I want or can ask for. The show has always been geared for Lisa, whether or not she was in the chat, and now I feel much better. So Jean Pants. Standing, I like to stand in a pair of giant jean pants in the leg of a pair of giant jean pants. Some think I'm showing how much weight I lost. That's not true. I do it because, now this is the part where the joke comes in. This is the part where the funny punchline emerges out of the ether of my mind, and I'm able to something. Why else would you stand in the leg of a pair of giant jeans? So I'm going to show how much weight I lost. That's not true. I do it because if my body isn't touching a certain amount of denim at all times, I can't absorb protein. I'm like, this is one of those perfect examples of, you're like, this could be potentially a joke that I workshop for a while, but I prefer not to. I think it's fine. I think there's like a level of joke writing where I think rather than like learning how to write like an amazing joke, I think that one of the top skills of writing jokes is to be able to feel out when a joke is good enough. I think that's huge. And feeling like this joke is it the perfect joke? Is it the best joke I could possibly think of? No. Is it good enough for our purposes? Like, to continue to move on. I think it's a great place to move on. We have to keep, we're sharks. We're joke sharks. We're comedy sharks. If we stop moving, we die. I've died hundreds of times. Cats have 9 lives. If sharks stop moving, they die. If a shark ever learned about cats and how they don't even... Cats have 9 lives and are constantly still and constantly... Whoops. Cats have 9 lives and are constantly lying around. If sharks stop moving, they die. If a shark ever learned about cats, about how easy cats have it, they would learn how to go on land just to start some shit. And folks, that's the drama I live for. Oh, thank you, Unexpected Error. I'm glad that you feel like you have received some writing advice. My hope is always that, either intentionally or by accident, I tell people a few good ideas. Let's try this one. Cats have 9 lives and are constantly lying around. If sharks stop moving, they die. If a shark ever learned about how easy cats have it, they would learn how to go on land just to start some shit. And folks, that's the drama I live for. We're going to go a couple more minutes just because I started late and I feel like I need to give you guys the full sort of 80-ish minutes. These have been trending 80-ish minutes. I know the original conception of the show is a 60-minute, like, I'm going to write jokes for an hour. But then it never felt like long enough. And we're like, I still have some juice in the packets, juice in the box. And also just like, I really want to make sure that by the end of each writing session, I have at least 2 or 3 jokes that I'm proud of, and just extending the time gives me a little bit more space to succeed by my own personal goals. It's important to have goals, no matter how small they are. It's important to have goals, no matter how small they are. Believe me, anybody can be a goaltender. I put a jersey on a mouse, and it was doing, what's the name of that famous, the goaltender of the U.S. women's soccer team? Oh, Hope Solo. She's like kind of controversial. I don't know. I bring some. She's not just like a name I throw in there. Oh, thank you for like enjoying the tag. I feel like I'm pretty good at tags because tags, I think, often are most successful when they exhibit like a little bit of a leap in logic, or they have to surprise you. If you can see it coming, like there's no joke. And I feel like I'm like good enough at like associative thinking or being random, uh, to be like, oh, I have this idea that is not necessarily something that other people would come up with. And I think that's why I feel confident about joke writing in particular. It's important to have goals, no matter how small they are. Believe me, anybody can be a goaltender. I put a jersey on a mouse, and it was doing the Lord's work in there. Spain didn't score a point in 90 minutes. I assume Spain is like a sports country. It's like a football country. Yeah, let's maybe do like one more, and then I'll let Matt sleep. I'm sure Matt would love to go to bed. It's important to have goals, no matter how small they are. Believe me, anybody can be a goaltender. I put a jersey in knee pads. I used to wear knee pads on a mouse, and it was doing the Lord's work in there. Spain didn't score a point in 90 minutes. I used to be very good, not to brag, but when I was like six years old, I was a very good goaltender. Matt is ready for some midnight tweeting. He's like, "No, I'm good. I don't need to sleep." Cool. Let's do maybe like 1 or 2 more. Let's see. I want to think of one more. Again, thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that Lisa's just like, no more news jokes, because I actually feel like we're having a better time now than when I was trying to be topical. Even more evidence that topical jokes are by their nature somewhat devastating and draining, especially considering the reality we live in. High school gym class, the other teen literally scored him 6 times. Oh, the news is a nightmare. And it's like, ugh. Like we need more language to explain how we feel with regard to current events. Because I feel like I'm constantly in a constant state of failure while trying to address my thoughts and feelings about it. Cool. Let's do 1 or 2 more. British people used to call. I'm gonna do like a little turf joke. Turf jokes are a little bit a niche. I feel like a lot of people outside of the internet who aren't really who aren't very productive or very like active on Twitter don't know what a TERF is. You have to explain it, even though they're like such a figment of and feature of the web. A joke tweet about stupid is honestly I read the article just for the relief. Amours are fun. Amours always make me think of that Seinfeld episode where like Elaine can't move hers. It's quite good. British people used to call giraffes camelopards. And now they want to tell us what a woman is. You fools, why don't you stick to naming animals, two animals that don't even look like the first animal? Fools. I like just like the completely like unnecessary second fool. This is like so sloppily constructed. This is a very sloppy joke. That I don't know. I can't expect it to do good numbers, but it does make me laugh. So it stays in. Camelopards. Camelopards? I would hope that the second one's. I hope that camelopards would be spelled camelopard, so everyone instantly understands what the point of the joke is. Sloppy jokes for dinner tonight. Pearly, I'm glad it makes you laugh out loud. If you are enjoying this show, or even if you're not, but you still feel like still feel like you want to support the arts in any way possible tonight, feel free to follow and subscribe. Not just so that you can catch our other excellent programming, but so that we have a little bit more money. The more money the channel has, the more we can do. Like the opportunities to us expand in terms of paying people or paying for things and stuff that we can't do right now. So feel free to subscribe if you are one of those people who has Amazon Prime. I won't judge you as long as you subscribe to our channel for no extra money. Otherwise, I will judge you and be like, you're just Bezos's pet. Maid, you're here. Hi. Sloppy Jokes is the name of my tape. I will do it when my credit card is fixed. Oh, Pearly, I really hope your credit card gets fixed. I hate the sound of an unworking credit card. Let's do one more. We'll do one more, and then we'll force Matt to go to bed, even if he's not feeling like it. We'll go to his house and throw the covers over him. And time to bed, Matt. One more joke. Another joke. Silly jokes. What's funny? This is how I tweet. I like look at my phone. I'm going like, "Oh, what's funny? What can I joke about?" Oh, Maida, thank you. Maida is a doll. Thank you so much. I hope I'm saying that right. Maid. I assume it's Maid. Cool. Let's do one more for the road. I always say for the road, even though I haven't been on a road inside a car for months. Crazy. The back seat is the best part of the car for making out. The seat next to the driver is the best part of the car for taking someone out with a gun. The roof is the best part of the car for caking out what I call eating cake while breaking my spine on concrete. Have I needed a name for that? Yes. Let's see how long this is if I can't wrap it up a little bit more cleanly. The back seat is the best part of the car for making out. The seat next to the driver is the best part of the car for taking someone out with a gun. Already, I actually haven't used that many Prens lately, or at least in this particular session. I really enjoy how Prens can be like kind of the whisper, taking someone out with a gun. As like levels to kind of the delivery in your head, the mental delivery. The roof is the best part of the car for caking out, what I call eating cake, before falling off a car. Car part has its role. Back seat is the best part of the car for making it. The seat next to the driver is the best part for taking someone out with a gun. The roof is the best part of the car for caking out, what I call eating cake before falling off a car. Every car part has its role. Beautiful. That, I feel, is a good way to end it. It's a little bit after 10:30. Thank you for sticking with the show, unless you left the stream, in which case you don't even know that I'm saying these words. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Again, we have great shows all week long at 2MB Studios. Tomorrow we have Left Night with Kendra Dossie. That is our Marxist political show, which I'm always very excited for. This is its second week on air, and followed by Quarantine Action Wrestling, our part pre-taped character segment slash pre-taped simulated video game of people beating the shit out of each other, which is very fun. And on Friday, feel free to stick by for Tuki's. Tuki Kavanaugh has a really fun late night show called The Rehash. And before that, at 9 o'clock, we have a really fun line game show called 69 Minutes with Sex with Me. If you watch it, feel free to look out for Boof and his discount sunglasses. I think that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Follow and subscribe, and otherwise enjoy the rest of your night. Good night.